Hi, I'm Tasha from One Big Happy Life on behalf of the Financial Diet, and this is the Lifestyle Fix brought to you by Skillshare. In today's video, I'll be sharing the weekly routine that I use as a working mom of two to make sure that my week runs smoothly and that I'm able to accomplish all of my goals. Number one, I create a routine for just about everything. I'm a creative at heart. On any given week, I'm writing thousands of words of content, shooting an hour or so of video, creating the graphic assets for my business, and dreaming up new projects for One Big Happy Life. So I completely understand the resistance that people feel when I say that they should add structure to their lives. They don't want to be constricted. They want to feel free to let the muse strike so that they can create on a whim. But as many a well-renowned artist will tell you, inspiration comes with doing the work and not with just sitting around waiting for it to happen. As the saying goes, I only write when inspiration strikes. Fortunately, it strikes at 9 a.m. every morning. By creating routines in advance for as many things as possible, I make sure that I'm being really efficient with my time. Not to mention that routines can help prime the pump so that I'm doing exactly what I want to do when I want to do it. So for example, if I know that I want to work out every morning, then I can prime that by choosing to put on my workout clothes as soon as I get out of bed in the morning. That way, there's that much less resistance between what my rational brain knows I should do, which is to work out, and what my primitive brain is telling me to do, which is to conserve energy. I also have routines for many of the day-to-day tasks that I just need to get done. I have a system for efficiently tackling the 8 to 10 loads of laundry that I do on a given week, a makeup routine. My toddler has a bedtime routine that we all follow to help him wind down at the end of every day. These routines have all evolved over time through trial and error. And now that they're in place, they make my whole life run a lot smoother. Number two, I plan my week ahead of time. Mom life can get really hectic, especially with two kids who are in very different stages of life. My son is in full-on potty training mode, and my daughter is figuring out which colleges she should apply to this fall. Then add in the schedules of two working adults and also running a business, and it's pretty obvious how important it is for us to coordinate our schedules so that we know who is doing what, for whom, and when. But our schedules aren't just for planning out the things that we need to do outside of our house. We also set aside time exclusively for family time and time when we can each spend on activities that are important to us as individuals. I've just found that if you don't make space in your calendar for the things that truly matter to you, you'll end up filling it with things that are less important in the long run. Planning my week ahead of time makes it less likely that things will slip through the cracks. If I'm being honest, I don't just look at my week. I'm often looking at the next few weeks, and if I'm making plans for my business, then I'm looking at the next 3 months, if not the next 2 quarters. The other thing that planning my week allows me to do is to see if things are getting too crunched so that we can scale back. As much as we have going on in any given week, we're a family that also loves having do-nothing time. So when it seems like our schedules are getting too full, that means that we need to have a conversation about what needs to be cut. Number three, I run errands once a week and as early as possible. I've talked in previous episodes about how I go to work early. I typically start my day at 6:30 a.m. because the commute is easier since most people are still asleep. Well, I'm also an early bird on the weekends when I'm running my errands too. I like to get to the store right as it opens because at that time, most people are just having their morning coffee and thinking that maybe they'll head out to Target in a few hours. That means I and the few other early birds get the stores largely to ourselves. No waiting for fitting rooms, no waiting in line to check out. It is so efficient. Now, I will say that this really depends on where you live. When I lived in Texas, I found that places rarely got very crowded outside of major holiday sales. But when I moved back to the Northeast, that was not the case. In addition to running errands early, I also try to head out to the stores only once a week. Not only is it really efficient to plan all of my errands out and knock them out all on the same trip, but it also saves me money because I'm not heading to the stores several times a week and being tempted to spend money that I wouldn't have otherwise spent. Number 4, I get stuff done the night before. A solid nighttime routine is the key to having a great morning, especially if you have kids. Having their bags packed and their lunches ready makes it so much easier to get them out of the door quickly. Same with getting myself ready in the morning to head into the office. When I go to bed at night, I know exactly what I'm going to be wearing the next day. My lunches and breakfast are already in the refrigerator just waiting for me to grab them. And when I head downstairs in the morning, my coffee will have just finished brewing thanks to the automatic coffee maker that I set up the night before. Because I take time to prep the night before, I can just run on autopilot in the morning, get dressed, grab my things, and head out of the house in no time at all. Taking care of as much as possible the night before makes for a low stress, super efficient morning. Number 5, everyone has a bedtime. When I was a kid, my bedtime was 9 p.m. on the dot. There were so many nights where I'd be in the middle of watching a movie because the movies back then would start at 8 p.m. and then they'd end at 10 p.m. So I'd have to go to bed without getting to see the rest of the movie. So I used to imagine what the end of the movie was going to be like as I was laying in bed. And I would also look forward to the day when I would get to be an adult and not have a bedtime. That was definitely not the only thing that I got wrong about being an adult. Not only do my kids have a bedtime, yes, including my 17-year-old, but my partner Joseph and I also have bedtimes. It's the only way that we can make sure to get enough sleep, especially given the fact that sleeping in is only ever an option one day a week thanks to our early rising toddler. Whenever I feel tempted to stay up well past my bedtime, I tell myself the same thing that I tell my kids. If it's that important, go to bed now and then you can wake up and do whatever it is in the morning. That really puts things in perspective. And 9 times out of 10, the next morning we rarely go straight back to whatever it was we were planning on losing sleep over. So now that I've shared some of my favorite mom hacks that set me up to have an amazing week, let's talk about a great place to brush up on some other life skills, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes in design, business, technology, and more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes on essential topics so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Looking to craft a unique brand to set yourself apart from the competition? Check out Keith Yamashita's class, Storytelling for Leaders, How to Craft Stories That Matter, where he teaches you how to craft a compelling story that matters to your audience. Click the link in the description box to join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today and to take advantage of a special offer just for TFD viewers, where you will get the first 2 months of unlimited access to over 25,000 classes for free. Act now so you don't miss out and start learning today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell and tune in here every single Friday for another new episode of The Lifestyle Fix. See you next week.